Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well and welcome to another Warframe video. Today, we will be talking about KHORA. In this video, I will try to showcase the true power of KHORA. But to make things clear early, I will not just be detailing here how insane the damage of her whip claw, but also, I will be giving you an all-rounder build, which offers both awesome crowd control and damage power. In addition, I will be giving you the best weapons you can use with KHORA right now. That makes her a great frame overall. Okay, now, let's begin this video, starting with my KHORA build. So, as you can see, it's a pretty balanced build, which is a little inclined towards power strength. The reason behind this is because, I want to use all of KHORA's abilities. Range and duration mods are mainly for her ensnare and strangle dome abilities, while power strength is mainly for her whip claw and pet cat, Venari. More specifically, power strength does increase the damage of your whip claw, while it gives additional bonus to the speed and heal rate buff of your cat. By the way, you can use the ordinary vitality and intensify on this build, if you don't have these umbral mods yet. However, if you have the required resources, then I advise you to max out these two, and equip it on your KHORA, as the extra health and power strength buff from these mods are pretty good. In addition, I have both primed flow and streamline, so I can efficiently cast my abilities, especially whip claw, as we will be spamming this ability a lot. And lastly, I have her augment, accumulating whip claw, which grants additional 350% damage, when you hit 3 enemies 10 times successively. Now take note, accumulating whip claw is not affected by any mods. The bonus damage is capped at 350%, and the decay percentage is not affected by any duration mods. Now if you are asking, why I put Steel Charge and Vigilante Pursuit on my build, it's because Steel Charge does add damage to your whip claw and Vigilante Pursuit helps me locate enemies much faster, plus it does give a 5% bonus crit on my primary. It's really a personal preference, and you can add Growing Power, and then Power Drift, or any mods that you deem helpful for your playstyle. With this mod setup, you will gain these stats for your abilities. As you can see, it's a pretty balanced build, which allows you to fully take advantage of KHORA's crowd control abilities, enough range and duration for ensnare and strangle dome, and enough power strength for Venari and my whip claw. And with this build, you really don't need to worry about running out of energy, as it's really efficient, that you just need energizing dash from your Zenuric focus school to restore your energy. Now, you could add up Rage or Hunter Adrenaline on your build, as anyway, KHORA's cat has the ability to heal you. However, this won't be any good in high-end levels, like long survival runs, as KHORA don't have enough effective health to withstand heavy hits from level 100 plus enemies. More likely, you will be using her crowd control prowess at high-end levels than relying on your cat's ability to heal. Now, did you know that you can further boost the damage of KHORA's whip claw, aside from the power strength and Steel Charge mod you equipped on your KHORA? The mods that you equipped on your melee weapon does boost the damage of your whip claw even further. I know what you are thinking. What's the best weapon for KHORA then? There's actually 2 melee weapons, and they can be acquired easily. The first one is the regular jaw sword. Well actually, you won't be using this melee weapon to kill enemies. Instead we will be using this weapon, to put all those damage mods that we need, to maximize the damage potential of our whip claw. We call them as stat sticks. We don't need the weapon, but the mods that we can put on the weapons. So anyway, here's an example on how to mod your sword to maximize KHORA's whip claw damage. Now, whip claw has a base stats of 200% critical damage multiplier, with a 25% chance to crit, and 20% chance to proc status. Its damage is more towards slash. In my opinion, whip claw is one of the best, if not, the best first ability compared to the likes of Atlas Sucker Punch first ability. However, there are limitations to the mods that can affect whip claw. Acolyte mods, condition overload, range, attack speed, and even set mods don't affect the ability. So basically, these are some of the mods that affect whip claw. And honestly, these are the mods that I found really good when it comes to increasing the damage of your first ability. The thing about Jaw Sword, by the way, on why I consider it as one of the best stat stick for KHORA's whip claw is that, aside from the fact that we can equip damage mods like Pressure Point, Spoiled Strike, or even a Riven with damage, we can also equip the Blade of Truth weapon augment, which adds another 100% melee damage. By the way, Rivens do affect whip claw, and, when it comes to stat rolls, I suggest aiming for a mix of critical chance, damage or critical damage, and yes, Jaw Sword has a 5-riven disposition, so obviously, we can roll up to 300+% of damage like what this godly Jaw Sword riven have. So, before we proceed to some preview on how good can this stat stick boost the damage of KHORA'S first ability, let's proceed to the second stat stick. I think only a few people know this, but Heavy Blade Zaw, and as well as Hammer Zaw, does give Whip Claw a 70% multiplicative damage bonus, like the Jaw Sword. I also go for the same mod setup. Now, I was lucky to have a good riven mod for this Zaw, thanks to one member of the team who gave this to me. As you can see, it has melee damage and slash damage, which is good, but, just like the Jaw Sword riven, your goal is to get a mix of critical chance, critical damage or damage. Lastly, it doesn't matter what Zaw composition, or what component you use to make your heavy blade or hammer Zaw, it will always have that 70% multiplicative damage bonus. Okay, now, let me show you how good these stat sticks on boosting the damage of KHORA'S Whip Claw. Take note that I was testing KHORA against level 130 plus heavily armored units. The damage will be insane against unarmored enemies. In fact, it can reach up to 1,000,000. That's how insane KHORA is, not only damage-wise, but she can also crowd control enemies effectively, so she can deal that huge damage using her Whip Claw. In fact, her second ability is really great, as not only does it makes it easier to get the damage buff from your accumulating Whip Claw augment, but it does allow your Whip Claw to inflict additional damage to enemies ensnared by your second ability. So, better try out KHORA now, and see how amazing she is firsthand. Thanks for watching. I do hope that you find this video informative. If you do, please do give me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Again, thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.